Every K-pop fan right now, including ARMY, is divided over this new Grammy Award specifically for Asian pop music because many people see it as an act of putting K-pop in a box, like honestly. According to the Recording Academy's official announcement, there's a new category called Best Asian Pop Music Performance for the 2027 Grammys. While some fans are super excited, seeing it as a big opportunity, but others, especially those who feel like they get what this means, are pretty unhappy about it, and I get why they're upset. Because on paper, this looks massive, like a huge deal for K-pop and for fans who've been dreaming of their idols finally winning a Grammy, especially a group like BTS. I mean, if you've followed K-pop for years, your first reaction is probably, wait, K-pop is finally getting its own Grammy category? Because, let's be real, we've watched BTS smash records, sell out stadiums, top charts, yet still walk away from the Grammys empty-handed. But here's the thing, this is where it started feeling off to me, because this announcement didn't just happen randomly, it came right after BTS returned. They just dropped Adidan, and suddenly everyone is talking, strong reviews, big numbers, exactly what BTS has been doing for years, and then right after that, the Grammys dropped this new category for Asian pop, and that's when people started side-eyeing the whole thing. Like, to some, it felt like the Grammys couldn't ignore a comeback this big anymore. And instead of letting BTS compete head-to-head, they decided to recognize Asian pop, like K-pop, J-pop, C-pop. Now, this is where a lot of people are side-eyeing it even more. Apparently, for a song to qualify, it has to feature an Asian language, and, a lot of K-pop right now is fully in English, like BTS and BLACKPINK. They switch between English and Korean all the time, so songs like Dynamite are in English, Butter is in English, even Jump is fully in English. Rosé's global hit, APT, is also in English too, which means none of those would qualify, including some of BTS's biggest hits. Like DNA or Boy With Love, those might qualify because they have Korean lyrics. But songs like Dynamite and Butter, probably not since they're fully English. And that's where people really started asking the tough questions, because at this point, every K-pop group is going global with English releases. That's just the move. So when fans saw this language rule, a lot of them felt like the message was, stay in your lane. Like, you can be recognized, but only if you stick to one language. So now I'm wondering, are artists who want this Grammy badly going to start writing more Korean into their songs just for eligibility? And what about fans who love English K-pop? Because let's be honest, English K-pop is a huge part of why this genre blew up worldwide. So, for a lot of fans, it feels like they're trying to push K-pop back into a box, like forced to pick one language again. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if agencies start slipping in more Korean lyrics just to stay eligible. But wait, it gets even wilder. Because the Grammys didn't just make one international category, they made it for all of Asia. I mean, that's an entire continent. Billions of people, dozens of countries, thousands of styles and languages. And now we got K-pop, J-pop, C-pop, who knows what else, all being squeezed together into one Grammy category. Honestly, that sounds crazy to me, and that's exactly why so many people blew up about it, because on one hand, for some fans, it's like finally recognition, but on the other hand, for others, it feels like they're being segregated. Straight up culture segregation. So even a lot of ARMY aren't celebrating. They're asking real questions. Did the Grammys make this category because they really want to honor Asian artists? Or is it just a way to keep BTS out of the big awards? Because honestly, BTS's history with the Grammys has been rough, to put it lightly. Dynamite got a nomination, but no win. Same thing with Butter, nominated, but still no win. And My Universe, also a nomination, still nothing. I mean, this is one of the biggest groups ever, and somehow they still can't clinch a Grammy. And it's even wilder because Butter spent 10 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Like, that's historic. So now, after BTS returns from military service with Adidan, and the album is getting massive praise, people immediately notice the timing. Rolling Stone named Adidan one of the best albums of 2026 so far. NME did the same. And suddenly, right after BTS came back, the Grammys dropped this Asian pop category. And naturally, social media went off. Some ARMYs are saying the Recording Academy made a separate category just to avoid giving BTS the big awards. In fact, one fan even wrote, "Imagine being so insecure that you had to create a separate category to keep BTS from winning." Another called it scammies. And others said, yeah, they're recognizing Asian artists, but only if they stay in their own lane. Now, to be fair, winning this new category doesn't actually stop artists from competing in the big categories. They can still submit songs for Best Pop Duo or Group. But then there's another twist. Grammy CEO Harvey Mason Jr. said these categories are member-driven, like the Recording Academy members propose them. And guess what? Hybe artists, producers, and even BTS have become voting members. So this might not just be the Grammys creating space. It could be Asian creators fighting for their own space from the inside. And if that's true, then this whole conversation gets way more complicated. Because maybe this isn't about exclusion. Maybe it's about finally building a seat at the table. Or maybe it's both. And honestly, this debate isn't even new. Because back in the 90s, the Grammys did the same thing with rap. They made a separate category for hip-hop, and critics said the same thing, like hip-hop was being pushed out of the real categories. But over time, rap artists started winning the big ones too. So maybe people are right. Maybe this is just step one. Because technically, nothing stops them from being in both. A BTS song in Korean could go for Best Asian Pop and still go for Record of the Year or Album of the Year. That's how it's supposed to work on paper. But here's what I really want to know. Are they going to keep getting nominated in the big categories? Or are they just going to get pushed into this one category and kind of disappear from everything else?